Okay, so from getting a loan to applying for a job to even deciding criminal sentences, artificial intelligence is making these massive decisions about our lives every single day. And the promise? Oh, the promise is huge. A world of perfectly rational, totally unbiased decisions. But is that really what we're building? Let's dive in and see if we can find the ghost in the machine.
I mean, we all know human decisions can be, well, messy, right? We're biased, we get tired, we're not always consistent. The big dream for AI is to just wipe all that away and replace it with something way better. Objective, super fast, and always consistent. But you gotta notice that question mark on the right. It's there for a very, very good reason, because the reality is a whole lot more complicated and, honestly, way more interesting. So yeah, despite that promise of pure, clean, mathematical objectivity, a lot of these AI systems are hiding a really serious problem. It's this issue that's kind of lurking just beneath the surface, shaping our opportunities and our outcomes in ways we often don't even see happening. And look, this isn't some far-off sci-fi scenario. This is happening right now to real people. Folks are being denied mortgages by an algorithm that you just can't reason with. Job applications are getting thrown in the virtual trash can by an automated system before a human being ever even lays eyes on them. These are not small glitches, you know? They have these profound, real-world consequences on people's lives.
So, what exactly is this hidden problem? Well, it actually has a name: algorithmic bias. Let's get a really clear definition down so we're all talking about the same thing here. The two words you really need to focus on there are systematic and repeatable. This isn't some random bug that pops up once and then disappears. No, it's pattern. It's embedded deep in the system's logic, causing it to consistently and unfairly make decisions that favor one group over another. It's basically bias, but at a massive automated scale. Now, this quote, this is where things get really interesting because it completely reframes the whole problem. It forces us to stop thinking about bias as just some simple coding error that we can find and patch. Instead, it tells us the AI is acting like a mirror, reflecting back at us all the biases that already exist in our society, in our history, in our data. The problem, it turns out, isn't just in the machine. It starts with us. So if the bias isn't just in the code, where on earth does it come from? Well, to figure that out, we've got to peel back the layers of the AI and take a hard look at what it's actually built from. You can think of it like a bias pipeline, and it starts way before a single line of code gets written. First step is historical bias. Just think about unfair lending or hiring practices from the past. That stuff is already baked right into the historical data. Then representation bias kicks in. That happens when the data we collect is flawed. Maybe we oversample one group and completely undersample another. And finally, the algorithm gets trained on all this messy bias data. And because its whole job is to find patterns, it doesn't just learn the biases, it often amplifies them, turning a small issue into a giant one. This seems like the most logical question in the world, right? If we're smart enough to build these incredibly complex systems, surely we can just add a little bit of code that says, hey, be fair. But this, right here, is where things get really, really challenging. It leads us straight into a pretty fascinating dilemma. And that brings us to the fairness dilemma. See, the problem isn't that we don't want to make AI fair. The problem is that fairness itself isn't just one simple idea that you can neatly translate into programming language. Get ready for this. Computer scientists and ethicists have come up with more than 20 different mathematical ways to define what fairness even means. And here's the real kicker. A lot of them actually contradict each other. So making an algorithm more fair using one definition can literally make it less fair using another. Let's look at a real example to see how this actually plays out. Okay, let's look at two of the big ones. First, you've got demographic parity. This one is all about equal outcomes. It basically says if a certain group makes up, say, 20% of the applicants, they should get 20% of the approved loans. Sounds pretty straightforward. But then you've got equalized odds. This one is all about equal error rates. It says the chance of a qualified person being wrongly rejected should be the same for everybody, no matter what the final approval numbers look like. Both of those goals sound good, right? But you can't always have both at the same time. And this chart just shows that trade-off perfectly. Look at the first scenario. To get that demographic parity, the algorithm approves the same percentage from each group. Simple. But now look at the second scenario. To get equalized odds, to make sure the mistake rate is the same for everyone, the approval rates are now totally different. So, which one is more fair?
A fair outcome or a fair process? There's no single right answer here. It's an ethical choice, not a technical one. So, if we can't program some perfect, universally agreed upon definition of fairness, what are we supposed to do? Well, we have to change our approach. We have to shift our focus from trying to get perfect algorithmic fairness and instead work on creating robust human accountability. If the machine can't be perfectly fair on its own, then the system we build around it has to be. That means having a human in the loop, someone who can make the final call. It means demanding transparent processes so we can actually understand why the AI made a certain choice. It requires regular, independent audits that actively hunt for bias. We need clear ways for people to appeal a decision, to fight back, and finally, all of this has to be backed up by strong legal and ethical rules. And this really brings us to the core message of all this. We can't just blame the code. An algorithm is just a tool. The ultimate responsibility has to lie with the humans behind it, the engineers building it, the companies using it, and the society that chooses to rely on it. Accountability has to be human.
So if you remember one thing from all of this, let it be this. We cannot simply code our way out of a problem as deep and complex as bias. It's not a bug we can just fix. It's a reflection of our world that we have to manage. And the only way forward is through deliberate, thoughtful, and meaningful human accountability. And that leaves us with one last really crucial question to think about. When one of these systems inevitably gets it wrong, when it denies the wrong person a loan or flags the wrong person for a crime, who do we hold responsible? The lines of code that just executed a command, the company that profited from its speed and efficiency, or us,